And we're back in the nightmare cabin. How is everyone doing? I've finally got some days off, so we're going to be doing. I've got quite a busy week ahead actually. I've got some interviews coming up. Got a few cool things planned. So yeah, exciting times. How are we all? Today we are doing an unboxing and a review. So the old Amazon man has been. Today, if you can't hear it in the background, I'm playing their debut right now. But Necrophobic, Dawn of the Damned. Now, for those that aren't quite initiated with Necrophobic, they're from Sweden, and they formed in 1989. And their first album, The Nocturnal Silence, is a death metal classic. But after that, they kind of, maybe the next album and the album afterwards, they kind of transitioned into black metal. Now, the best way I can describe that is, if you think At the Gates, especially the last album, well, Slaughter of the Soul, coming up to that, but they kind of had one toe, kind of like one foot kind of dipped in black metal, while Necrophobic, Nocturnus, they kind of went full hog, and that's the best way. So they got that sort of melodic, the way the Swedish metal kind of went melodic, you know. They kind of ran with that, but in a black metal kind of way, if you know what I mean. So here we go. I don't know what this is. The special edition by the looks of it. So there's your hype sticker that you can possibly read. The Blackened Death Metal legends return with their undoubtedly most diverse and elaborate album to date. Yeah, alright, I'm fine with that. We've got 2 CDs here and all sorts of shit. So, produced by Frederick Folkau, Unleashed and Firespawn. So, let's have a look. CD's falling out. Now, I've had a listen to this the last couple of days with disc 2. It looks like you get 4 bonus tracks. So now it pretty much picks up from where their last album left off, and I think most notably is the artwork. So if you take the artwork, I've just had something pop up on my laptop there. Hold on. I'll take the book out so there's not so much of a glare, but you see the yeah, so you got like a cathedral in a hellish sort of landscape. Well, this album artwork is kind of like the inside of that cathedral. The way the artwork complements each other in the last 2 albums, I think musically it's pretty much the same thing. This album pretty much picks up where this leaves off. Starting off with Felion, I think it is. I'm still not getting up with my pronunciations, but you've got a really sort of cool, clean introduction track, which, unlike most introduction tracks nowadays, I know you get one at the beginning of every album, but this one looks like, it feels like it could be played live, you know. And then when Darkness Be My Guide kicks in, it's just fantastic. It's that perfect. Oh, I've got a patch here. It did say, didn't it? Here you go. That's pretty cool actually. I'll keep that for now, but let me just read the I thought in the bonus tracks there might be like a cover or something, but no, I've not heard the bonus track, so I'll have to cover that at a later date. But when it kicks in, it's just it's so heavy yet so melodic, the shredding, and it kind of has that black metal, you know, that black metal aesthetic really, where even as fast and brutal as it is, you kind of have the perfect, think like a Mayhem song. Is it Frozen Moon or what was the first Frozen Moon? First track on the album. Funeral Fog. The way the shredding was, you know, it's a lot of that going on. And that first track is just, it's really accessible, really easy on the ear, but just heavy enough to keep you going as well. Mirror Black, which there's been a video for, I'll link that to the description. Again, when that ringing in the intro, that ding, yeah, that feedback sort of ringing the guitar, is so catchy. And the whole album is fantastic, really. It's exactly what you want. I think where they started off as death metal and then went on to black metal, they've kind of met in the middle in these last two albums. I know I'm not too hot on I'm not that much of an expert on the band actually, but I know their singer that was on their first EP or something like that, he's back in the he came back on the last album or something like that. I know he sang on the first album and then came back for the last album, Mark of the Necrogram. So he's probably brought back that that sort of death metal influence, really. They've got a new bass player on this album as well, which I did look up, which I'll come to later. It's pretty significant. All the tracks though are great. One thing that really stood out for me though is the Shadows. Awesome main sort of riff on that. Fucking awesome. You could play it to anyone and I'll guarantee you that will be the it will just click into place. It's extremely accessible, and I think you could just play it to someone that's just not into black metal or even that much into death metal. You could pretty much play this to someone who's pretty mainstream, you know. And I think that's a good thing for bands that it's all well and good being extreme and being underground and all that, but you got to, every so often you got to throw something out for people to hook onto and get into the band. So that's the main thing of what you want, really. But I think the crowning achievement on this album is definitely the second from last track, the Return of a Long Lost Soul. Beautiful melodic section at the beginning, which the bass player, I'm going to bring him up actually because he really shines on this, is Alan Lundholm, I think that is Lundholm. He's also in Interment, Moondark he's in, and formerly Circle of Chaos and Convulsion. So, but yeah, the opening section of the Return of the Long Lost Soul brings to mind Iron Maiden, and the bass, it's like fucking hell, like straight away it hits you, and it's a bit of an epic, really. It kind of goes in different peaks and troughs, but it goes on a bit of a musical journey, and that is an awesome song. And yeah, that's definitely the one that ties the album together. It's at 7 minutes long, and altogether though, the album just works. It just flows perfectly. You've got 10 tracks, one including the introduction, but it's about 2.5 minutes, so it works. And it's like a song that could be played. I would play it at the beginning of a track, maybe even open a set with it, but I would definitely put Darkness Is My Guide, Mirror Black, The Shadows, and The Return of a Long Lost Soul in the live setting. And most notably as well, on the final track, you've got Schmier from Destruction on the track Devil's Spawn Attack. Really cool song, really fresh. You really think he's chucking out all these high notes and that. I actually thought it was like a cover at the end. I remember when I first listened to it, I thought I'm going to check this out, I'm going to look this up and see what song they're covering. I thought it was like an old Merciful Fate song or something like that, but no, it's their own track. So really cool. So yeah, maybe we'll do a let's talk about video at some point, and we'll go through the whole catalogue. But yeah, Necrophobic knocking it out of the park at the moment. You've got this gem in 2018, Mark of the Necrogram. I had a brain fart there. 2018, and now this 2020, Dawn of the Damned. This, I kind of read that they had a new album coming out and thought it kind of just slipped my mind, and then all of a sudden it hit me, and I quickly ordered this. This band are on fire at the moment. Every band that's been going on for as long as they have, they normally have a string of good albums at the beginning. Things go a bit wobbly for a while, and then they bring out an album when they find their feet again. Well, Necrophobic are definitely one of those bands, but they are on fire at the moment with these two albums. Highly, highly recommended. And I knew this was going to be a good album, don't get me wrong, but it really caught me off guard at how good it is. Obviously, around this time of year, you start preparing what's going to be like your top 10. I did a highlights. This channel started out with highlights of 2020, and I'll be doing a top 10 at the end of the year. My top 5 pretty solid, and then like 6 to 10 it's a little bit jubbly, but this is definitely throwing a spanner in the works. This is definitely going to make me rethink what the top albums are going to be. So yeah, Dawn of the Damned, Necrophobic on Century Media Records. Definitely check this out. Definitely worth your time. So, a couple of interviews coming up this week. Got episode 6 of the Maiden Cast. We're doing Diano, the self-titled album this week. That'll be up Friday. So yeah, lots of content coming. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone. Welcome aboard if you're new to the channel. And yeah, just I ask all of you, please, just if you like what you see, share it around. Please just click the like button, subscribe, and it really helps the channel. This is brand new. We've only been going like a month or so. So let's get this thing going. Thanks a lot, everyone, for watching. Take care now. All the best.